In a world that often categorizes people based on dominance, sociability, and conformity, women are frequently labeled as alpha, beta, or sigma. The alpha female commands attention, admired for her assertiveness and leadership. The beta female is more cooperative, gentle, and nurturing, often blending smoothly into social environments. But there's a third archetype, the sigma female, who doesn't play by society's rulebook. She doesn't chase attention or validation. She doesn't seek control over others. Instead, she seeks control over herself. She is mysterious, emotionally, intelligent, and self-sufficient. And because she defies convention, people often don't know what to make of her. As a result, many fear her. In today's video, we'll explore the 10 Stoic reasons why people fear the Sigma female, and what men can learn from her path of quiet power. Let's begin. She is unpredictable. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus, the Sigma female, lives life by her own code. She doesn't conform to social expectations or trends. You can't pin her down with labels or predict her next move, and this unpredictability causes discomfort for others, especially in a society that craves control and consistency. Her calm exterior hides an emotional depth that few can grasp. While others show excitement, sadness, or frustration openly, the Sigma woman keeps her cards close. She's composed even in chaos, and her ability to stay emotionally neutral in public settings makes her feel like an enigma. People fear what they cannot understand, and this lack of emotional transparency keeps them guessing and on edge. Even when someone thinks they've figured her out, she pivots, revealing another layer they hadn't anticipated. This constant evolution makes her simultaneously attractive and intimidating. People are drawn in but also wary of getting too close, uncertain of how she will react or what she truly thinks. The Stoic virtue of emotional control is fully embodied in her, and because most people lack that control themselves, her mastery over it becomes something they fear. She understands how to influence without force. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius, unlike the Alpha, who asserts dominance with power or aggression, the Sigma woman influences quietly. She understands how people think, what drives them, and how to nudge them in subtle ways. She doesn't control others overtly. She simply guides the situation without resistance. This ability to subtly shape outcomes is what Stoics would call mastery of reason and emotional awareness. She doesn't use manipulation as a weapon, but as a tool for harmony or survival in a chaotic world. She avoids unnecessary conflict and instead chooses diplomacy laced with psychological strength. For example, when confronted by an overbearing alpha male, the Sigma female doesn't push back with confrontation. Instead, she skillfully uses language and reverse psychology to neutralize his aggression, often while protecting her dignity and earning his respect. It's not trickery, it's wisdom in action. This quiet capability makes others feel vulnerable. Because they can't see her strategy, they fear what she might be capable of. She threatens the social order. To live a good life, we have the potential for it, if we learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. Marcus Aurelius, you most. People are comfortable in social systems where everyone plays a predictable role. Leaders lead, followers follow, and rules are obeyed. But the Sigma female doesn't subscribe to these hierarchies. She neither submits nor dominates. She walks beside them, but on her own terms. She questions norms, challenges assumptions, and calls out societal illusions without apology. She doesn't participate in gossip, drama, or petty competition. Her refusal to conform threatens the established order. In the eyes of the Stoic, this is true freedom, living according to nature, not society's script. But for others, her autonomy can feel like rebellion. Her detachment from the social pecking order disrupts fragile egos and power dynamics, especially for those who depend on control to feel significant. People often fear those who cannot be easily placed, managed, or manipulated. The Sigma female's independence leaves them unsure how to engage, and that's what makes her dangerous to the status quo. She's prepared for everything. The wise man prepares for what lies ahead. Seneca. Sigma female doesn't wait for life to happen. She anticipates, she prepares, she strategizes. Her mind is always scanning her environment, not with paranoia, but with purpose. Some people call it overthinking, but it's really foresight. She doesn't get caught off guard easily because she's already considered the possible outcomes. This level of preparedness intimidates others who rely on spontaneity or luck to navigate challenges. Her readiness gives her a kind of inner armor. While others crumble in crisis, she moves through it calmly. She's a Stoic in action, detached from panic, focused on solutions. People fear her because she doesn't need rescuing. She isn't waiting for someone to come and solve her problems. She's already 5 steps ahead, and that kind of independence is both admirable and unsettling. She maintains power without the spotlight. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Unlike the alpha female who seeks recognition, the Sigma female operates in silence. She doesn't need applause or praise. She exerts influence without putting herself in the spotlight. People often confuse her quietness for passivity, but that's a mistake. She sees what others miss, and she acts strategically. Her power lies not in being seen, but in being effective. She's like a chess master who moves without drawing attention, yet always seems to be in control of the board. This invisibility can make others nervous. They can't measure her intentions, because she doesn't make them obvious, and people fear what they cannot read or anticipate. From a Stoic perspective, this is mastery of ego. She doesn't act for applause. She acts because it aligns with her values. Her ability to lead without dominating is a rare trait, and a powerful one. She doesn't seek validation. He who seeks approval is a slave to the opinions of others. Epictetus validation is the currency of the modern world. Social. Media thrives on likes and shares. People chase compliments, attention, and acceptance, but not the Sigma female. She observes what people think, but she isn't controlled by it. She's not chasing status or popularity. She's self-directed, and values internal peace over external praise. This can be deeply unsettling to those who need validation to feel valuable. Her confidence isn't loud, but it's real. She doesn't beg for love, friendship, or recognition. She knows her worth, and that calm, unshakable confidence makes people nervous. Because when someone doesn't need you, you realize just how much you might need them. She speaks her truth without fear. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius. The Sigma woman values honesty over harmony. She doesn't sugarcoat or say what people want to hear. She says what is true, even if it's uncomfortable. This candor can come across as blunt or cold, but it's not cruelty. It's clarity. In a world where many choose silence to avoid conflict, her directness is refreshing and a little terrifying. People fear confrontation, and the Sigma female doesn't shy away from it when necessary. She won't argue for sport, but she won't back down from truth either. Her opinions are well-formed, rooted in reason, and fearlessly delivered. The Stoic ideal of courage isn't about bravado. It's about saying what must be said, even when it's difficult. She embodies this. She thinks independently. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus Sigma females don't blindly follow trends, leaders, or even peer groups. They question everything. They analyze. They decide for themselves. This level of independent thought is rare in a culture of conformity. It threatens those who depend on the herd for comfort or direction. She's not afraid to be the lone voice in a room full of agreement. She doesn't mind standing alone if it means standing in truth. And that quiet intellectual strength is more intimidating than any loud opinion. From a Stoic view, she is the embodiment of logos, the rational mind guiding her decisions. And that rational independence unnerves people who prefer not to think too deeply. She's perceived as intimidating and distant. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Seneca, because she values solitude and doesn't chase superficial connections, the Sigma female can appear distant or aloof. She isn't trying to be cold, but she doesn't force interactions either. Her strong boundaries and serious demeanor give off a powerful energy. People respect her, but they may also keep their distance out of fear. She doesn't entertain drama, small talk, or attention-seeking behavior. This emotional economy intimidates those who crave constant validation. To the Stoic, solitude is strength. It's the space where wisdom grows. The Sigma female understands this and lives by it. She has no fear of change or failure. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Lastly, and most importantly, the Sigma female embraces change. She doesn't fear risk. She sees failure not as defeat, but as a stepping stone to growth. This fearlessness is magnetic and terrifying, because most people are ruled by fear. They avoid discomfort. They delay decisions. But the Sigma female moves forward, regardless of uncertainty. She has an almost stoic resilience. She accepts what she cannot control, and boldly acts where she can. Her refusal to be paralyzed by fear